OpenAI just dropped a browser with ChatGPT agents built right in. And here is what we're testing today. Is this browser actually safe for production use? Should you switch? We're going to go through the installation, the agent features, the data training policies, and the safety considerations you need to know as a developer or as a person who's going to use this product. And I'm just really curious to see if this is actually going to work. So welcome to the live stream. ChatGPT, as you may have known, just released this thing called Atlas. And you can actually go ahead and download it if you just go to chatgpt.com/Atlas. And there's a lot of different prompts. You're probably going to see a lot of YouTubers talk about this, but I thought it would be really cool to have a working session with us, kind of hanging out together and just really getting this product installed. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to start to launch the installer here. It looks like we just have to drag this thing in after you download it. And then I should be able to just pull it up in my applications and just run Atlas for the install. So we're going to be basically just doing this live. And I'm really curious to see, I think it's just called Atlas, right? Atlas, yeah, ChatGPT. With a Chizat. So are you guys going to install it? What's your take so far? Have you been impressed? If you don't know kind of what, as far as like privacy concerns, what I pulled up from the blog post here was this thing. It says, by default, we don't train or use the content you browsed to train the models. So if you choose to opt into this content, it says that you basically can include web browsing in your data control settings. And if you enable training for chats and ChatGPT account, the training will also be enabled for Atlas. So this also includes website content and so forth. Parental controls work in Atlas too. So if a parent has those types of controls, you're also kind of getting those types of things for you. There was another question about like these agents. And one thing that they also caution is because this is still new, there is some like security implications that like they've done a lot of red teaming and a lot of different testing. But as you know, the internet is really open. And with ChatGPT having almost 1 billion users, there's probably different edge cases that you want to be aware of. And one of the great things is you can actually control what websites ChatGPT Atlas browser has access to and what they don't. So that's some type of fine tuning you can have there as well. They also have some additional controls to say, you know, I don't want the agent to do certain things, but mind you, because this agent is capable and very highly capable, they've kind of have restricted some of the things like having it like try to download files or execute code in the browser, which is really nice. And then the other thing too that's really important for you to know is that even with all these safeguards, if you have a lot of like maybe sensitive data or things you don't want to be modified, just approach that with caution, right? Just don't throw everything to the wind because there could be some instructions that are written either in a web page or an image or something that's really unique that goes outside of their red team testing. They could probably kind of, change some of those aspects. So obviously, I'm just kind of doing this as a demo for myself. And I want to make sure that you're kind of aware of this and you should take your own responsibility. The things that are said here are really just for entertainment and educational purposes. And I myself am just kind of walking through this because I'm really curious to understand like how this stuff works as a technology. So if you're interested in that, just definitely stay tuned in. We're going to be kind of browsing through this and kind of playing around with this. And you can read a little bit more here on openai.com/index/intruding ChatGPT agents. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the browser as well. So that way you can have access to this. And I would highly suggest you read the blog post because they actually talk a lot about this. And the other note about ARIA tags for developers, we're going to go ahead and go into that as well. So let's go ahead and see where we're at with this Atlas thing so far. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go back to the Finder, and then we're going to try to launch ChatGPT Atlas. So that's basically this little icon here. And it's probably going to ask for my permission. It's like, go ahead and open. Awesome. So now it's going to ask us to say, log in with ChatGPT. Okay, this is really cool. Let's go ahead and check it out. So YOLO. All right, so I'm getting a bunch of notifications in my browser saying go ahead and allow, and then go ahead and allow alerts as well. Okay, cool. And then now we're at a point where we're going to go ahead and like log in with Google or something like that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just going to go ahead and log in with Google. And then also what's interesting is this type of alert here says allow alerts. So you probably want to enable this if you want to use the browser. Like I know I'm going to enable it as well because one of the cool things is that you can actually use the browser to, like do some tasks for you and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can log in here. Please don't mind me as I do my little thing here. And let's just go ahead and get to some of the comments while I kind of go ahead and do this. So what's interesting is that it actually is asking me for Bluetooth access. I think that's really interesting. So it's like right away, as soon as I install the browser, it's like, Bluetooth devices. I wonder why. Like I could see maybe there's a handoff in terms of communication, but that's an interesting thing right off the get-go. So I'm going to go ahead and allow. And then it's asking me for it's for the passkeys thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. It's kind of nice to have like a little screen blur. So I'm going to sign in with passkeys real quick on my phone. Go ahead and use passkey to sign in with Google. This is great. Cool. And so basically I'm signing in with my ChatGPT account, and then it's asking me for my identity. And so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can kind of do that as well, because I think there should be something that's going on in my passwords. So in my Apple passwords, I have an Apple computer. So I'm going to just go to ChatGPT and then go to my account. Let's see, OpenAI, and then I should be able to sign in. I'm really curious how the migration is going to work, because I have Safari. And so I'm going to be migrating basically from Safari on over. And I'm really curious to see how this type of thing works. I'm going to leave the blur up for a second until like I understand some of the implications, and just kind of want to make sure I don't expose too much, if you know what I mean. So let's go ahead and see if I can kind of hide this here. And then I can kind of show you this in more of a clean type of environment. So this is kind of what I'm seeing right now. So we're now at the first phase of things. So I'm going to show you really quickly what these steps look like if you're going through ChatGPT Atlas. So chatgpt.com/Atlas, and it walks us through the steps. So these are the steps that we're basically going to go to. So the first part was literally just going to be dragging the icon across, which is what we did. And I already logged in. And so we're basically at this phase to import data from another browser, passwords and so forth. And then from there, the next step is going to be to allow keychain access. Because I have a Mac, all my passwords are stored there. So basically I will allow them to get access to my passwords. And this is what they need to basically log into all of your favorite websites. And that way you don't have to do these types of things. And so if you're cautious about your security and you don't trust like another entity to have access to these types of things, this is probably like the first part where you're like, maybe this is not for me right now, right? But if you create like maybe a new user account, or you do some other things, or you just kind of don't have a lot of stuff stored in your keychain, this is probably maybe something is just kind of for you to consider. But just putting that out there. Obviously, these are like top tier companies, and they have like encryption and all these things enabled, so they take the top precautions. But your data is your data. And so you're responsible for however you maintain that type of thing. And so that's just kind of like a heads up of what that looks like for you. So, and then you want to decide if you want to enable browser memories. So this is going to be the one that I'm really most interested in here, because a lot of things that I do, and the reason why I stick to a lot of OpenAI products is because they have my memories. And like I'm dealing with like, elder care, and then my own stuff, and then all the other things. And so I can just say, like, can we just go ahead and look up some other facilities for my friend or something like that? Or can you look up some caregiving things right now at this phase of life? And I don't have to re-explain myself. So this is kind of going to be for me, the stickiest part of this product. I can already anticipate. So this is going to be enabled for me for sure. And then set ChatGPT as a default browser and get boosted limits for 7 days. So this is going to be a really cool feature that we're going to try to see if we can enable. And kind of get that going there. So I just wanted to give you a quick heads up of where we're landed. We're currently in step 3, and then I'm going to show you back when we go through these other things. But yeah, this is how we get started with it. And let's go ahead and kind of hide this right now. And so it's asking for importing for different types of like accounts here. And so what I primarily use is Safari. So I'm just going to go ahead and start this import here. And so it's asking for privacy and security in my settings to go ahead and open those settings and enable them. So I'm going to see if I can do that right now. I'm going to go open settings. And so settings should open somewhere here. And then I should be able to see all of these settings, which I have set up here. But I don't see ChatGPT Atlas on the list. I see a bunch of other stuff, but I don't see that. So once you've allowed full disk access, restart ChatGPT Atlas to finish your Safari import. So full disk access, I don't actually see it on this list. That's weird. I think there's a bug here. I'm going to go ahead and restart and see if we come back with anything. I'm really curious to see what happens. So let's see. So open system settings, go to here. Yeah, let's go ahead and open here. I don't see it on the list. Maybe I have to add it. So I'm going to try to see if I can add this right now and see if I can actually give it full disk access. So what I'm doing is just going directly to the app directly here. And then I'm just going to go to ChatGPT Atlas and then hit open. And so I hit the little plus sign down below, and that's kind of what gets it in here. I'm going to quit and reopen. And so in order to do that, I hit the little plus and then I selected the app, and then now it should have full disk access because the agent will need full disk access. And so now that it has full disk access, it's now importing the bookmarks from Safari. So if you see that issue, that's the way that you can work around it, by hitting the little plus sign, because it doesn't register or show up. A lot of times, sometimes they have to do like an API query to the disk, but it's possible that somehow it's hidden, maybe because I'm streaming and it doesn't show the notification, or some other type of thing. I just want to give you a heads up on that if you run into that as well. So let's see. I just kind of want to check this out. So I'm going to close this for now. And now it's asking about browser memories. So we're going to go ahead and turn this on because, you're in control of your memories, obviously. So we're going to go turn this on. This is the one I'm actually really curious about. And then now we're asking about ChatGPT on any website. Open the ChatGPT sidebar on any website to summarize, explain, and handle tasks right when you're browsing. Cool. Let's go ahead and make your cursor a collaborator. This is interesting. This is the thing this is cool. So when you draft emails, fill out forms, you can just highlight the form and click the logo. This is going to be awesome. I'm really excited about that. And then set as the default browser. So here is the kicker. Do I set this as a default browser or do I wait? If I set it as a browser right now for limited time only, it sounds like an ad, right? But they will give me like a boosted in terms of like credits and whatever they do here. And so I don't know, like I want to hear your reaction right now. Let's catch up a little bit to the chat and see what y'all are saying. Can it scrape a website and return structured data? I think yes and no. There's certain things it can do and certain things it can't do. The programmatic part, I think, is a little bit different. So you cannot create different profiles. Yo, big shout outs to Thursday.ai, Eltrine, coming showing up in the chat. So if you haven't had a chance to check out, this guy has all the AI news breaking like all the time. So this Thursday is about to be crazy. And this is how I keep up with all the AI craziness. So like check out his channel. And so he's always up on the latest things. And he says that you can't create different profiles. So if you have one machine, maybe like, if you're using Google Chrome, you can actually sign into different Google accounts and then they all sync and they have their own bookmarks. So it sounds like for this Atlas thing, it's just one user, one account. That's it. So you're locked in. Yeah, thanks for the heads up on that. A really interesting product for sure. Wait, is it credit-based browser? I really don't know yet. So is it just for iOS? I think it's just for Mac OS right now. It's just Operator on a local browser with a comment sidebar. I would have thought OpenAI would do better. I think your expectations are really, really high. I think right now, just having a product that has ChatGPT in it, integrated fully with memories and everything, is really interesting. As far as like where this is coming, I think this will come out of users like actually using the product and giving feedback. So it's just kind of hard to make products when you don't really understand the landscape of things. To be honest, ChatGPT, like from everything that I hear, was sort of an accident, right? They're just like, let's make a chat product to show off the API. That blew up and it's almost 1 billion users. It's like, so just wait, bro. Just like in AI, if you wait 1 month, it's like waiting a year. So just come back in a month. So yeah, let's go ahead and check it out. So let's go ahead and set as a default browser. I'm going to YOLO, bro. What just happened? Oh, hold up. I just set as a default browser and like my whole thing just flashed. Can you guys see me? Am I still here? Oh my gosh. I'm still alive. Okay, cool. Whoa, I think everything just reset. That was the craziest experience ever. So my whole screen flashed and like everything went away and then came right back. So let me just kind of fix all my windows because everything just got rearranged. That was a weird experience. So, dang, I didn't. Okay. So I'm just recovering from the flashbang that just happened. Okay. So I basically I hit this window initially. I just went to this step. Now we're at step 6, the final one. And then this little pop-up says, do you want to change your default web browser to ChatGPT Atlas or keep using Safari? So Apple really got mad at me right now and said, Ray, are you really leaving us right now? Come back. We miss you. Are you sure? If you leave us right now, we may take away all of your computers and your Safaris and things. But you're welcome to go. But we're watching you. All right, let's go. Let's use ChatGPT Atlas. Let's go. Let's go. Hold on. Let me get a sip of water real quick. Oh my God. Oh, this feels so good right now. It's October 21st and it's nice and warm weather here in California. And I'm so glad I can have this nice sip of water. Man, cool. It's a good thing I don't need any fruits anymore. Let's go, fam. I'm gonna just hide the Safari browser. And I think we're all in on Atlas right now. So I just joined ChatGPT 937 days ago and Atlas 8 minutes ago. Let's go. Have fun exploring the web and while staying in control of privacy, your data and privacy. I'm all about this right now. Whoa. Damn. Okay, so not only did they open the browser, but they like straight up open this whole thing in like full Monty. Okay. Y'all need to chill with this right now. Okay, excuse the all white everything, but like that's kind of where we're at right now. Yo, I figured if it's good enough for Jony to leave Apple, I figured I'm good enough as well to just go all in on Atlas right now. 7 days. I know, I'm just saying. Allow ChatGPT. Okay, damn, they really want access to like everything. All right, fam. I'm like tapped into the matrix. I'm all in right now. Okay, so what I want to do is fix this viewport here because this is what got messed up in my whole stream. Okay, so now we back. Okay, all right. So I think I fixed this here. We're right in the stream. Oh, this is cute. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see this. Oh, this browser's nice. Okay. Wow. Agent mode, outline a story on canvas, compare. So can I just go to google.com? Let's go to apple.com. Hey, this is pretty fast. Can we pre-order a computer? Okay. Like ask ChatGPT, should I get this for my live streams or what? It says, all right, before I say yes or no, quick context check. You're on Apple's 14-inch MacBook Pro buying page, and it looks like you're eyeing one of the new M5, M4 Pro Max configurations. For live streaming, here's how to think about it. It's like literally kind of busting this out. So my recommendation is the M5 base model. Use cloud tools for AI, stream 1080p, Meld or OBS. All right. TLDR. Okay, this is kind of yappy, to be honest, bro. All right. Wow. Okay. So here we are. Ask ChatGPT. So the ChatGPT thing opens up on the side, and I can switch to chat or open a new chat tab. Oh, that's smooth. Did you see that? We went from here on a side chat like this, and it kind of slided in like that. That was gorgeous. So I could search here too. Oh, I like these search results. These are really nice. And what's the images? Oh, okay. And then I could do videos. Do they have like... This is really, really fast. News. And I like how it punches out to Google. Yo, that's funny. That's actually really funny as hell. Interesting. Fully into the matrix for sure. I wish I could check a PC you are using as well. Dang, that's what's up. You can. Okay. So does it import all of your bookmarks and passwords, etc.? I think it actually does, to be honest. Good day. Yeah. Yeah. So I think people were talking about the sticker. Yo, ChatGPT bottle. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just thirsty right now. All right. So for those who are wondering, on the other side, bye. Hey. I'm now in the matrix. Yo. RIP robbed. No. I'm good. What if you set it as the default browser and then later during the install, you'll get the credit boost? Okay, maybe, but I'm not trying to bamboozle them right now. I'm actually trying to use this browser for sure. Can it actively check for updates on the webpage? I'll see what's up. Yeah, I think this is really going to be really interesting. Even if OpenAI is making wrappers, bro, I feel like the wrappers are in the game right now. If you're not making a wrapper, you're kind of like losing out. All right, so I want to check some things out. So like, can I go to Claude.ai? Is it going to let me do that thing? They blocked the browser? No, it's fine. Can you imagine like if they actually did that where they like don't let you sign into any of these platforms? Like here, if I just got to do this thing here, continue with Google. So what's really funny is that gonna let me just sign into my account. Is like now are they gonna get like all of my Anthropic chats literally just in one type of chat? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna sign in right here. I gotta sign in with the passkey. So I gotta sign into all of my different Gmail accounts, which kind of makes it annoying, but it's okay. I was hoping that if I transferred over my passkeys and everything, that they would be able to sign in for me on my behalf. But I think I still have to do this until I'm signed in to everything. So it says you're signing back in. All right, cool. All right, cool. So are we in? Okay, cool. So now I'm in to this other website here. Okay. Can I go to like V0? What type of browser is Atlas, you know? V0.dev.app, I think. Ooh. Oh, this is super annoying. So I have to sign into all of my different sign in again. Okay. All my different stuff. Can I go to Anime Leak? Let's see. AnimeLeak.com. Oh, cool. Awesome. Start creating. Let's go. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just really curious to see, yeah, how this is going to work. All right, cool, cool, cool. Awesome. Yeah, this is really cool. This is a cool book that they were actually giving out at the conference. I want to see if I still have it. Yeah, I don't have it here with me right now, but yeah. Oh, that's cool. Okay, cool. And I should just be able to like take a picture with my camera and stuff. And let's see. Oh, ChatGPT will allow. Okay. Allow while visiting the site. Sure. Awesome. And then now I should be able to turn on the camera settings. So I have the cam link. Yeah, let's just do that. Cam live. Okay. Start camera. Whoa. Oh, I see. Cause I'm live streaming right now. I'll just do the FaceTime camera. All right. This looks nasty. Let's see. All right. Transformation 1 credit started. Okay. So now my little thing is going to start to do its little thing, and we should be able to get my little anime leak. So some type of anime thing should start to leak into my photograph. I don't know what it is, but we'll see what it is. So what's kind of fun, it's like whatever I take photos of stuff, you can kind of see these things. So let's see. That's actually pretty awesome. That's so cool. Yeah. Let's go. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So this is fun. Like a regular website works. And I think another thing that I wanted to kind of check out here was going to be like some of the agentic stuff. So they talked about like, let's see, just go to ChatGPT/agent. What's it called? Atlas. Wait, ChatGPT, open chatgpt.com/Atlas. Okay. So in here, oh, it even says, thank you for trying Atlas. So it knows that I'm using Atlas. That's really cool. So we should be able to select things and then ask ChatGPT. So how does that work over here? So for example, like, no, I thought I could just, is it as part of like a form when you're filling out an email or something like that? Or is it because I have the sidebar going? I thought I could just select stuff and just ask ChatGPT about, cool. Oh, animeleak.com. So this is a site I'm currently vibe coding right now. And this is actually still a work in progress. So if you buy credits, you're actually just buying credits in a sandbox. And this is like totally, like if you go purchase credits, I'm still like haven't finished the site yet. And I'm almost done. I got to actually really hook it up to the real thing. So you're saying changes here won't make changes to your live account, but basically this is kind of me testing, and I'm about to turn it on live in a couple days or so, like probably tonight or tomorrow. And like also the authentication stuff. So like right now I'm using Clerk for authentication. It's still on the dev server. But the whole point of it is to like, you could just upload photos and stuff, and then you can share it with your friends. And then you can like delete them if you don't like them or anything like that. And so it's pretty cool. Like I have like a picture with my food, and then like it literally just uses the, it picks some parts of the image out and tries to do it. It's not really consistent, and I'm still kind of working on the right prompts for it, because you can kind of see, but it's kind of fun. Like to me, I'm trying it for YouTube thumbnails. And so it literally like kind of flips my thumbnails out, which is really, really cool. So yeah, I put the link in here. I think it's just animeleak.com. And then you can just kind of check that out. So that'd be really cool. Yeah, I'm still vibe coding it. So if you see stuff and it breaks, it's going to happen, but I haven't really actually announced it like officially. But I thought it'd be really fun to kind of play around here. So, all right. So I think the other thing too, I was really curious about is like, they're saying it takes actions for you. So in agent mode, I'm trying to figure out how do you get this thing in agent mode, right? So we should be able to get this thing to take some actions for us. Like if I just hit here and we go to agent mode and click this, ask ChatGPT how to perform complex tasks. So, oh, okay. So you open a new tab, you go into this type of window here, and you're seeing up here, it says ChatGPT 5. I wonder if I should just set it to auto, because maybe I'll get some better results. But anyways, I'm just going to leave it here in agent mode. So in agent mode, I'm going to just say, can you check flights to Hawaii for tomorrow for me? And then here it says logged in. So it shows that I'm already logged in. Okay. So you have a couple of ways of using this type of platform. You can say logged out, and so it works out alongside with you, logged out from your accounts. And that is interesting. Maybe you don't want your ChatGPT account. So maybe if you have multiple people using the browser, you don't want that like request to be saved into your memories, which can happen, right? Like all of a sudden you have all these child stories and stuff, or if you have a kid that uses, if you're sharing the same computer, especially at home, maybe that's a really good idea. So that's kind of an interesting one. So let's go ahead and see if so one of agent mode may introduce risk. So in agent mode, the agent can perform complex tasks in the browser for you. So while logged in, it can access your logged in sites, making it faster to complete tasks. And ChatGPT is built to protect you, but there's always some risk that attackers could successfully break our safeguards to access your data or take actions as you on logged in sites. And you can use logged out mode to reduce the risk. So if you're, for example, concerned that like maybe there's some sets of instructions that are going to be running on your like bank website, or maybe you're doing some trading, right? You don't want a trade to accidentally execute or something like that. Or so like you can do logged out mode. And so in this example, I'm saying, look up some flights for me. And, it's going to start to kind of go browse by itself to go through these different institutions, go through these different steps. So that's why they give you this little disclaimer. So I'm going to say start logged in, and we're just going to let it do its thing. So now it pops into a whole new chat window, and then it's going to be warming up. Okay. So this is cool. So starting for search for flights for Hawaii tomorrow, I'm going to pull up activity monitor real quick. Whoa, look at this. Wait, hold up. This is too cool. Wait, I'm watching my browser getting take over right now. Look at the sparklies over here. Oh, this is fire. So this is what's happening in my system processing, right? So let's go ahead and see what's going on with memory. I'm super curious. Yo, this is crazy. Okay, I'm going to close this right now. Wow. So it's like checking flights for me because it knows I'm in the Bay Area, and it's like checking San Jose. This is so crazy. It's so fun. And so at any time, it looks like we can take control or stop this agent if we don't feel like it's doing its thing. But let me click this and see what's going on here. So this is the steps that it's thinking that it's going through. And it now has come to this place where it says these prices include taxes and fees. So this is really, really cool. So let me open up another chat. I'm going to go to agent mode. I'm going to say, help me find the specific care I need for my friend with Chuck, because I need to see who's available on demand at various times. And so this is very specific to me and my memories. And this is specific to conversations I've had in the last couple of chats with ChatGPT. So I'm hoping that it's going to use that type of capabilities in this browser. and going to do this type of searching for me. So I don't have to tell it zip codes. I don't have to tell it like who Chuck is, like what his condition is and all these different things. Cause I've already had these conversations. I've already had these research requests done early, like in the last couple of days. So this is a very recent memory. And so now it's actually kind of looking up for respite care. It's exactly what I needed, right? I didn't say respite care because I wanted to see, is this agent actually capable of doing that for me? So now it's actually using that in its search history, which I find super appealing. And it's going to do this. This is work that I have to sit down and do anyways. And I was like, might as well just do it on live stream, right? But this is really important for me, right? Like for a loved one that I'm caring for, I want to make sure that they're, being taken a look at. So took a look at your recent browsing history and mainly found general searches for respite care and urgent care providers. I don't see a service named Chuck. It got confused, right? So I'm not sure which platform or care you're referring to. Could you tell me a bit more of what you're looking for? So Chuck is my friend who needs the respite care is kind of what I was referencing. And so let's go ahead and see what it comes to here. And I see these little keys down here. I think this could be related to our passcodes and stuff. And ChatGPT is also asking me for notifications in my browser to enable them. So I'm going to go ahead and enable that as well. So let's see this here. So this is cool. So formulating a response plan, understand it's regarding Chuck. So now it's going to go ahead and start searching. I don't know about you, but this is like my favorite thing, watching these little sparkly things. I think this is really well done. So now it's actually going through and it's like opening and analyzing websites. So the tabs are open, but they're still blank for now because the pages need time to load. And I'll begin by checking the content of the latest selected tab. Okay. And another thing you can tell the agent is to also open up multiple tabs for research. I think it's really interesting that it's actually going through and looking up these different places for respite care. And so this is actually, you can kind of see its little thinking process while it's doing this. And this is a task that you can also hand off to ChatGPT. So like if you didn't want to be in front of the browser looking at this, I could just send this off as an agent request and it would go get that information and then send me a notification later on. So for example, if I'm out and about and I don't want to like actually watch this thing, and I can just go do something else. So I should be able to go back and do my Hawaii planning and then go here and say, okay, where are you at with this type of thing? So this is really interesting. Imagine having Codex do this to work on apps too. That's exactly where I think this is all going, by the way. The fact that it's able to kind of chain together these multiple steps in reasoning, and they're now getting better at memories, they're getting better at like keeping things, like really efficient. I think this is kind of where the puck is going, if you know what I mean. And, starting off with these types of personal tasks are really interesting. So does that mean it still uses the old agent mode? It shows the same usage limits for me. I'm not really exactly sure here. So here's an interesting thing. It's now the browser in this agent mode is actually asking for my location. So I'm going to say allow for visiting the site or allow this time. Allow this time. Yes, because I could be in a different location. So now ChatGPT is asking for my location and I give it to it. So respite care options for Chuck and Milpitas. So I think it just chose Milpitas because that was probably what the latest of whatever was showing up in my chat. And I can just open this up a little bit more. And so what are these little things? Open in a new chat, open in a new tab. Okay, cool. This is pretty cool. And so the next steps is identify providers, review each options, check availability. Okay, cool. And I guess what I can ask here is maybe like, I want you to search more of them for the Los Altos area. I'm basically looking for on-demand care because there is a possibility that like an incident can happen and I just need to be able to call someone and have them available. So I'm looking really for rates. I'm also looking for availability, cost, and other different factors maybe I should be asking for. And so once I have that here, it looks like I'm just clicking around in these different tools. So this little thing still has this. I can add files or more context. And so I can select other MCPs and different things that I want to connect in here. So for example, if I wanted my agent to get access to my emails, I could just select that to be enabled. And so they could only be enabled, looks like, for the cloud browser. So if I use cloud browser, I think that's where we go. It looks like there's two different browsers here. There's a local version of the browser, which is what we're doing here. And so the agent is clicking around locally on my machine. But if I turn on the cloud browser, now I'm using the ChatGPT infrastructure. And so that's where I can enable the Gmail, the calendar, the Notions of the world. and then it can do those types of tasks. So that's really interesting kind of workflow here. And I thought that was really fascinating. So I'm going to go ahead and hit go. Let's go and see this thing here. So yeah. So this is cool. I mean, I need this type of information, and I'm just really curious to see how it's going to help me through this process because, yeah, like, I mean, it's a lot of work to figure out all this stuff, right? And like the AIs are really good at going out and grabbing as much information as possible. So I like this idea of it actually going out to look up for care facilities. And then in the future, I'd love for them to just place some phone calls and just get some basic information, right? Like and give details to the different nurses and things and kind of talk to them about that. So that way I have like a better range as far as research. So yeah. Cool. What about the usage limits? I don't know about the usage limits and stuff. So I'm really curious to see, how do I find that out? I'm really curious. Yeah, I don't know about that. So that'd be interesting. Yeah, these features are most definitely loss leaders to get market share while people are still finding their way into AI. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not that pessimistic about it. I feel like there's a couple of different threads that are pulling on here. So like one of them is like, we're having this revolution in terms of this new way of doing compute. So naturally, if you're a product builder, you're going to try to build all kinds of products with it, right? And then whatever sticks, you just go right through it, right? Because money's coming in as a stream. And so if you think about it like in a very like pessimistic way, like you're never really going to get too far in terms of thinking and like you have to kind of think about yourself. Like, are you a business person who's trying to try different markets and try different things? Because if you're ever stale in business, if you ever run your own business, like if you don't ever make any changes, you're going to get run over because the competitor is going to do exactly what you're doing and basically take your business. And this is kind of like the competitive environment we're in, almost times 1,000, right? The fact that like Mark Zuckerberg is willing to pay people literally $1 billion to go join his team shows you how competitive this is, but also shows you like the bigger landscape that these people are dealing with in terms of like core architecture and core products. So you can kind of think about this more of like the way back ago when like people were trying to acquire land. So if you own the land, you can grow products on it. You can then, once you grow products, you need people to get the orchards and then farm and then get that produce to then sell to the market of other people. And so if you had the land, you were the lord of the land and you actually controlled everything in terms of like economic viability, providing jobs, providing food, and these types of things. And AI is kind of this digital version of that because it's impacting so many people's lives. And it's a whole new revolution. And, if you were a person who like were like maybe trying to get started and you're like, I mean, if you're a business person, you have the funds, you would be acquiring land as much as possible. Like that's actually what you're doing right now. So that's the way that I think about it in like the bigger picture terms. And that's the type of things that I try to do here is like try to understand these from like a product standpoint. And as far as like my community of people who kind of join with me, that's kind of my mission is like to use products to try to build my own products with them. And if you're not really about that, I really ask you to kind of like leave the streams because this is not that type of thing. I'm not here to like hype up people who are going to be like not trying to build or not come in with this new energy of trying to build with us. And so that's what I'm rolling with. And if that's not for you, that's okay. Like this is not your stream. So I just want to put that out there and let's go ahead and start rolling and start cooking, fam. So yeah, this is kind of what we're doing here. So suggested next steps, shortlist your top providers based on new features above. Okay, so this has done a lot of work for us, which is really great. So what it's even given me phone numbers. This is amazing. So, okay, let me go ahead and open this in new chat because I feel like this whole thing has to go into a whole new tab. I love this animation. Look at that. That's so smooth. So I love that it can do this move to project. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. So what's nice is that everything kind of stays here in my ChatGPT account. And so I can open ChatGPT on my phone and continue this conversation. So like while I'm out on the go, like getting some food, I can just start calling some numbers. This is cool. So here's the different providers and then their coverage and availability. So, wow. So this is the average rate. This is very useful. Wow. Okay, so now like suggested next steps, call, free consultation. Wow, this is awesome. Okay, so what else can I do here? Use Cloud browser. So that's agent mode. Okay, so basically what we've done is like created a new task, use the new agent mode here, and you can ask ChatGPT to do something, simple like this to browse and kind of look up some stuff. So now we can say, we can have it do some deep research. We can also have it do a canvas, like a short story canvas, or like start a study mode on the topic. That's pretty cool. What else can we do here? So add tabs. Oh, so if I'm doing like a research task where there's multiple tabs open, now I can put those tabs into ChatGPT and then start to do a lot of these types of processes here. Okay, that's really cool. So browser memory, what's this? Oh, wow. Okay, so you hit the little plus sign, hit browser memory. You can start a new conversation and say like anything you want, right? Because this is everything that I've done so far, and say, I'm really trying to see if I should start investing in a new laptop for live streaming because my current laptop is really dedicated to coding and a lot of other things. But as far as live streams, I'd love to be having like a small portable system on the go. I'm thinking maybe a MacBook Air, but if these new M5 machines are really portable and light for me, I want you to kind of start to do some comparisons. I use Ecamm Live for live streaming, and I want to stream to multiple places. And last time I did a live stream just from my phone to YouTube, the quality was so low afterwards. So I'm wanting to do something like that. I've also looked into a YOLO Box live system, and that is pretty big to carry around. So I wanted to maybe do some comparisons against that. Should I just go invest in another Apple machine, or should I just get a dedicated YOLO Box streaming device and then compare the two differences? I also have a DJI Osmo Pocket 3 and a DJI Osmo Action 5, which I can use, and I have the wireless microphones for them, which makes it really easy for live streaming. So I'm going to use some of the memory because it has some of that information that I've pulled up for this and about live streaming here. So I'm going to go ahead and search that up right now. So this is going to do like a little search task using some of that browser memories as well. Granted, we haven't had a lot of browser memories, but you can start seeing how this can compound for us, which would be really interesting. So I pulled up your past research and some related live streaming stuff. So what I found interesting to me is that like this is set for instant. And to be honest, I kind of wanted to spend a lot more time doing this type of request because I feel like this doesn't necessarily need an instant answer. I think this needs a lot more thinking to it. So I want to see can I just duplicate this chat? Okay. I'm going to copy this request and literally do the same thing I did in another chat. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to paste it in here. Whoops. Okay, I'm going to do plus, I'm going to do browser memory, and I'm going to paste. And then I'm going to change this thing up here from this, and I'm going to set it over to, I'm going to make sure, yeah. So change it from here to thinking for longer and better answers. So we're going to use ChatGPT 5 thinking and hit send. And so this one is actually going to take a much longer time to do the thinking. And what I like about thinking type of requests is that they're usually involve multiple steps. It'll also try to get the intent for what you're doing and then maybe spawn off and do these different requests here. So this is the thinking, and it's considering MacBook Air options, which I find really interesting here. So, okay, cool. So it's optimizing the YouTube live stream setup. And now we're basically doing a research task using this browser here. And what I like about it is that I kind of can stay in the browser and I don't have to go back and forth between ChatGPT, the app, or ChatGPT, the web browser, and like open up these different tabs. What was also interesting is how we went from like here on the side to slide into a new chat. So if you switch to chat, I can actually switch to a different chat. So I can go back to switch the care options, and now we basically can continue that conversation here, which I find really interesting. So in the side browser, if you do lose that chat, you can always switch back to it, which I find really cool. And if you say open a new chat, it just slides you right over so beautifully. This is nice. This UI is beautiful. So now I have this. And so I don't know about you, but like for me, I always have Notion or something pulled up, but I also have the problem where like literally I'm using Notion, I'm using Apple Notes, I'm using like text messages. I have emails everywhere. So having everything in the ChatGPT app is actually kind of my own memory resource. I can just dump everything in. And this type of conversation, because I started in a web browser, right? Typically I would have Safari. I would start my thing in ChatGPT. It pumps to Safari. I find some information. I circle back. But now that it's all kind of containerized and I have the power of memories, I can start acting on information literally just by opening a new tab. So I don't know if you realize this, but basically we are sort of unlocking a new paradigm of actually productivity. And that paradigm of productivity actually involves this specific ChatGPT Atlas browser. Let me repeat that again. We, on this live stream, just right now, I'm realizing there's a new way of organizing your information that doesn't require all of your different apps. And I'm just kind of starting to actually see it come to life right now. I have a lot of different conversations with AI, Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity. I have all of these things, right? I wanted like a central place. So once I have something that's useful, where do I put it, right? Do I put it in Notion? Do I put it in Notes? Like I can't tell you how many screenshots I have from all these different websites. And then I have to remember to save them either in Notion, Notebook, put them in the like notes for my computer. Then I start searching for like, where is it, right? Am I searching my iOS app? Am I searching the app? Oh, it's on the machine that's at home. No, I can now keep things in the browser and it saves it into my chat. And so basically ChatGPT will kind of be this container for me now. And if I want to do a task, I can almost just start like, prompting and it's just kind of starting to come to life right in front of me. It's like, hey, can you give me those numbers again? I need to call some nurses in the area and pick up where I left off, right? Or I can just start a new task and say, create a new Notion page so I can track this specific project because now I need to kind of expand this out. I'm kind of curious. Can I do that? Can I actually do that right now? I think that this is what's going to be really amazing. So I'm going to see if I can turn on the cloud browser and I'm going to turn on Notion. And then what does it say? It says these connectors are not yet set up. So I'm going to go ahead and set them up right now. This is cool. This is really cool. So can we get this? Continue. Agent mode. Okay. So for whatever reason, there seems to be an issue with them being connected. I should already have them connected. I'm going to say, can you create a new Notion page so that I can track this project? This is going to be a new project for me to kind of keep tabs on so that I can stay on top of this work. Okay, let's go. And if not, I could just use Notion in the web browser here and theoretically should just pop over into agent mode in the browser and sign in or walk me through the sign in process. I'm really curious. I have no clue what to expect here, to be honest, because I had to turn in, this is like the connector mode. So it's setting up the desktop and we're going to see it do its thing. Huh, that's fascinating. It's a new way to give your information. I mean, that's what you do to all these apps anyways, right? So like Notion has everything as a cloud. Yeah. Toggle on the upper left corner. It also opens up the chat history in the same view as ChatGPT and agent mode on new videos. Oh, so the upper left corner here will basically, yes. Okay. So it's like literally being inside a ChatGPT from here, bro. So this left corner for this little thing, I forgot all about this feature, but thank you, Rodrigo. This is a really great feature. So it's Command, Shift, and H. So almost like history. Wait, hold up. We're now watching the browser. So this is going into the browser. It's going to generate a new Notion page based off of this information. The page is still loading. Whoa, this is crazy. This is live. I'm watching it operate live inside of my Notion notebook. It's login with the passkey. Wait, is it going to log in with the passkey that I gave it from my... Hold up, let's do this. Whoa. Okay. This is so crazy right now. Oh, so this is the same as operator, right? Yeah. I thought so. So now it's going to, yeah. So I'm inside of the web version of this. And so this is where I have to log in. So let me see if I can kind of go ahead and do that right now. So go ahead and log in with Google. Yo, this is crazy. It's going to think I'm spamming them. What would be cool is if they can use my keychain stuff on my own, on the ChatGPT browser itself. So it's like, use your security key with google.com. No thanks. I'm going to say try another way. And I'm going to say, I guess, use your passkey. Oh, try another way, I guess. Enter your password. So let me go ahead and see if I could do that. Passwords. And I'm just going to go ahead and do Notion. Let's see, Gmail. Google. Okay, so I'm going to Google. I'm going to basically try to see if I can get my passwords here. Please excuse me while I kind of get this all sorted out. But I'm really curious to see if this can actually work, because if it does, now I have a whole new, I haven't done this browser use type of thing, but I'm kind of seeing the value here more and more, the more I kind of think about it, right? So like delegating this over to ChatGPT to do this is, okay, ChatGPT wants to see and copy text background. Okay, yes. Continue next. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Google Authenticator thing here. And then I'm going to go back to my passwords. And then I'm going to go ahead and copy this password here and then paste. All right, fam. We're just kind of waiting for this to happen, and then we'll kind of pop back in. So now it's going to want to finish controlling. And then I'm going to close this here. I'm going to copy something random. Okay, cool. Oh, wow. So it actually popped into this thing called the Care Hub. And so this is a page that I already started, and I say finish controlling. And so now I basically have handed this back off to Notion or to ChatGPT and saying, hey, I'm already logged in. This is the page that I'm already in now. And it's going to start to think. So, so now that I'm logged in, it should be able to hopefully continue taking over for us. Yeah. Wait, is this only an Apple? Yes. So this is only an Apple, by the way. So you can install Atlas, but it's currently only an Apple. Yeah. Yeah. It's Ray again. Yes, that's right. So I'm checking the current Notion page, and it actually sees that Chuck's Care Hub listed here. So this is pretty cool, actually. The fact that it's even like in my own Notion notebook on the web inside of ChatGPT's web browser, basically. And so now it's actually trying to like browse around. And the reason why I'm kind of following along live, because I just want to make sure it doesn't delete something or do something silly. And so I'm really curious to see how it's going to find and navigate and figure out what it needs to do. So the browser is kind of going crazy, because now it's like going into a whole different avenue of like, it was actually at the right place in terms of where it's supposed to be. So it's like, this is kind of still early. So I see activity. Can I see activity? Oh, I see. It's taking screenshots of this. If I go back to desktop view, got it. I notice a vertical sidebar. And so this is just going to go through its different cycles to try to find the page. And it's interesting that it's even clicked that little floating icon, because that's actually Notion's AI thing, which I just signed up for. And I'm really curious to see if the AI from OpenAI is going to talk to their AI, which would be ChatGPT. And it'd be so crazy if like these two actually have conversations with each other, right? So actually, that's actually the funnier part, if you know what I mean. So like that. Yeah. So now it actually understood that there's a pencil icon. Are the number of agent requests the same as before as Atlas? I think so. 40 for Plus and 400 for Max or whatever. Yeah. I think so. The agents, yeah, can agent watch YouTube video or use its video transcript? That's a really good one. So let's see. You're all set. I created a new page called Chuck Respite Care Tracker in your workspace. This includes sections for overviews, to-dos, and then now it's actually showing us this type of thing there. So this pasted, oh, that's kind of cool actually. So it created a new page. It pasted in the to-dos from ChatGPT, and as far as like what I should be doing. Okay. So that's awesome. And let's see. So I can track this project. Okay. I'm going to ask it, does it have a list of the phone numbers and places I should be calling to reach out and get some more information? I'm going to see what it does here. I'm just trying to follow up. Yeah. So plus, minus, 0. Okay. So I'm going to keep going with that. And so what I want to do is continue this conversation for the live stream research over here, because This thought for 30 seconds, and then it continued thinking for like 3 minutes and 11 seconds and was searching different live stream setups. So while we were doing that, I actually had a research task going in the background to look up all this stuff. And it was using some of my browser memories here. And I only had a couple different conversations, but then it went to the web. You see all these websites that it started searching in parallel. That is pretty crazy. So now it's come up with the whole streaming rig for me. So for the MacBook Air versus YOLO box and which one's best. So if you keep going using Ecamm and maximize polish, like screen overlays and stuff, buy a second Mac dedicated to streaming. Okay, so that's interesting. So let me make this bigger for us. And then the other one says, yeah, so I can use the 13-inch MacBook Air M4 and it's super fast. And for 4K heavier graphics, the M5 should be fine. And it's still so that's 2.7 versus 3.4 pounds. I really do appreciate that. And the smallest iPhone free rig in the industry is the YOLO box. So the mini is basically this small and the Ultra is this small. So it's 981 grams. Let's see, 981 grams to pounds to LB. And I think it's just going to go instant. Yeah. So this is what I would normally do in Google and it comes back right away. And it's 2 pounds, 2.1 pounds. Okay. That's cool. Actually, that's really tiny compared to this. So it's actually lighter than these two, but I have a dedicated 4K box with all this stuff. That's interesting. So the portability is kind of what matters, I guess. Network reliability on the move, Codex, and battery. And the DJI cameras for easy wiring. So I can do, okay, for either Mac or YOLO box, I can plug in both via USB. Fixing the YouTube from phone looked bad problem. So YouTube recommends these encoders. So interesting. This is great. This is awesome. I basically had to do like a 3-minute research task and it's kind of already done. And then back over here for the respite care tracker, the new Notion Page has overviews. I can add a list of providers. Just let me know. Yes, please do this. Yes, please do. Add the list of providers. I thought I did. I thought I asked it for it. Yeah. Yeah, it shows 78 left for me until November 20th. Interesting. I wonder if we still get 40. Okay. Interesting. So this is the one I want to see as well. Can it see the video details for YouTube videos? So like, can you look up at Ray Fernando 1337 on YouTube and see his latest live stream video and tell me what it is about? And so do we need agent mode? I don't think so. Let's see. Create browser memory. What's tab search? Oh, this will run multiple tabs. So if we do tab search in here, let me just kind of show you. Like tab search will run multiple tabs on things. Let's do something like that later. Hold on. So this is, I don't know. I think they're doing their own search. This is crazy. This is so crazy. It's interactive. Streamed a day ago. Given your background, looks like how to build with agents. If you like, I can pull the key takeaways so you can apply them. Yeah, can you pull the key takeaways and see if you can give me the first part of his intro for the transcript? Because I just want to read that instead of watching the video. I'm just really curious to see what it does. Is it going to use the API and stuff? So it can't get the transcript. Ah, interesting. So this is, okay, so we can branch the new chat or read aloud. Wow. Okay. If you aren't familiar, on OpenAI Developer Day, they released the ability for you to publish apps inside of ChatGPT. So RayTranscribes.com should be building an app for this specific reason, right? Can I get these types of things and get the app? Do I just call the API? Because I could just say, hey, just use Ray Transcribes to pull the transcript for this. Right? Now you have the context for the transcript and can continue the conversation in it. All right, fam. I got to stop this live stream because I'm about to go code up this app right now. I need this app. Like this is a $1 billion app. Because if you have 800 million users and you just get 1% of them. That's a lot of money. That's 8 million users that can use your app every single day. 8 million. That's insane. You'll melt these servers down with these transcripts, and then you do some caching and stuff. You keep it fancy. Oh my God, that's powerful. Because that's the whole thing. Like, is there any way to get that? What do you have access to? I'm really curious now. Super curious. Yeah. I don't need the full thing. I just need the snippet of the intro. Let's go. Ray's gonna cook. Also, did you happen to meet Jony Ive on Dev Day? Of course, bro. We reunited. I don't know if you know. We go back in the day. So like, let me see if I can kind of show you real quick. Let me pop into my photos and stuff. Let's see. I have all this whole thing set up here, so I could show you real quick what this kind of looks like. So on Dev Day, actually, yeah, let me pull up some of the photos and videos and stuff of this whole thing. So where are we? Did I get the latest download? Okay, I have to scroll down to the latest. Oh yeah, this is a full-on day. So where are we? We are like here. Dang, so much happened. Yeah, this is like actually a really fun day. Okay. So where are we? We are here. I think, yeah. So here we are. And let me just kind of pull this to the side. And so, yes. So not only did we got to like, yeah, it was like a whole thing. So, yeah, we got to like, after the chat, like with Sam, he was hanging out on the side, and there is also this other investor guy as well. So they come out to the back door, and, you know, there's like one person waiting for him because he's a huge fan of him. And he actually named his son after Jony. And so, like we were just kind of catching up, and my friend Alex Volkov got some shots too of me like talking as well. And so we were just kind of catching up a little bit because at one point I gave him the watch to give to Anna Wintour because I used to work on the watch project. And so we were just kind of catching up a little bit on kind of, you know, like very, very little because he was just kind of on his way out. But he was also greeting. There's a whole line of people kind of waiting. So this is a little bit about Dev Day, which was super fun. And then also like got to meet Greg, which was great. And then I got to meet Sam Altman. These are not like AI photos. I know people talk about the AI photos and stuff, but this is like actually legit kind of hanging out. So yeah, that was really, really cool. Fun event. Yeah, these guys talking on stage, super duper awesome. What else happened? Got to be in the podcast room too, with the podcast with Sam Altman and stuff like that. We weren't allowed to take photos during the event, but we were allowed to sit in there. Really funny stories. Actually, I had to ask to leave in the towards the end of the podcast because I had to go to the bathroom super bad. And so that was kind of like a thing that happened. Also, people like crowded around and your boy, like literally staring. Yeah. This is actually really funny, kind of how this stuff breaks down. And this is kind of what I was talking about, this book. Yeah. So that was a little bit about, like, actually I haven't really talked too much about my OpenAI Dev Day experience, but it was pretty cool. I was just obviously like kind of like a lighting nerd and stuff, kind of looking at these things. And then there was these cool, like different little booths and things where people were allowed to go like take photos and do stuff there. So that was kind of fun. And then what else happened here? Let's see. This is Alex. Yeah, Alex Finn. Actually, the thing's still downloading. I don't know if this plays. I don't think you can hear the audio right now, but yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, this was kind of OpenAI Dev Day. Got to sit, kind of hang out and watch the keynote live and so forth. And then there was this other type of talk is there. So yeah, this was kind of a lot that was going on. You can kind of see how crowded it was there. A lot of different people all around. Big. Let's see what else. What else did we see there? I got to meet a lot of cool fans and stuff. People who were actually fans of the live stream. So I definitely appreciate people who are coming out to go hang out and say hello. So that was really, really fun. So when I say 1 million users, what they announced at Developer Day is that OpenAI has 800 million active ChatGPT users, like every week. And so 1% of that is 8 million. So if like they always like startup math is always like, I'm aiming for 1% of a certain market. So, total addressable market is 800 million users. And if my app only gets 1% of those, then, I can get 8 million. And if I charge, $10 a month, then I make like $80 million a month. And then like they get a justification saying, cool, we're going to give you $100 million because we think your startup's worth that much. Like startup math is really weird, but that's just kind of the general gist of it. I'm not saying that this is exactly the valuation. I'm making fun of the startup bros and the napkin math bros, but like that's kind of the industry in some ways. So if you're going to think about starting an app, you're not going to put an app that's related to the newspaper industry because that's literally dying. You're going to go into an industry that's thriving, like OpenAI's ChatGPT store, right? Because there's 800 million people, right? If you're going from newspaper industry that had like 100 million people, that 10 million to like, several million, that's a declining thing. So the longer you stay into it, you're going to basically just be cooked. Where if it's the other way around, you just have to literally jump in the water and you're going to be taken to the Messiah. I don't know, whatever that thing is, like the whatever it is. So like, that's kind of what I'm talking about, like startup math. So that's what's up. What about the yellow colored book? So yeah, that book is, I have it here, but these are the chats. If you stay tuned and obviously stay subscribed, I'm going to do a little giveaway for that because I feel like that's a really fun book to give away. And we'll kind of talk maybe more about that. But I wasn't with every video, but not the one I tried to Ray's channel. Okay, cool. It might start a new browser wars, I see. I was literally waiting for a whole day to see why you've not posted Dev Day after reaching there. I checked your Twitter, YouTube, almost half hour. I hope things are good. Yeah, for Dev Day, like I was so busy, and then I was also had to fly back to Hawaii. And then on top of that, basically what ended up happening is I had like the family emergency to fly back here to California. So tomorrow I'm actually flying back out to Hawaii and, taking care of a lot of these types of things. So I'm kind of back and forth right now. And just kind of making sure I'm here for my family as well. And that's kind of where I'm at. And so whenever I get some time to pop in, like right now I should be packing, but this thing came out. I've been so excited to try it. And okay, I'm sort of like addicted to live streaming. And so yeah, like I wanted to just hop on really quick to try this out and be with you guys to hang out and kind of get a first look at this. Because I feel like every YouTube video I'm going to watch is going to be like everyone repeating everyone else's videos and reading the exact thing from the OpenAI announcement. It's like, I don't need to see that. I need to use this product. And that's what I do here. So if you're all about this type of stuff, make sure you subscribe, because not only do I do that with these types of products, I also do it with the AI coding. So I love to take a look at Cursor. Droids is like the latest thing that I'm taking a look at as well. The agents, for Claude Code, Codex, trying out various things to help me with my AI coding, because I'm also vibe coding this app called, I'll show you, Anime Leak. So if you go to animeleak.com, Anime Leak, I'm about getting ready to launch this app. And so what Anime Leak does basically is you upload a photo and then you have some like little anime stuff that leaks. So my friends have a photo here. I took a photo of them, and it kind of, it brings it into the fold here as far as like kind of like fun stuff. I have my little paddle, and then you can share this with your friends. And so all of this stuff was literally made with AI. I forked a project, and then we added the gallery, and we added a landing page, we added payments, and I've been doing this live. And if you kind of want to follow along the journey, I literally go on live, several times a week, and we'll show you kind of what I'm doing, how I prompt, how everything kind of comes together and what I'm thinking. And that's just kind of what I'm doing here. I'm not a web developer, which is kind of crazy, right? So like I have an engineering background. I know how to ship software. And so along the way, I'm actually learning how things work. And that's the approach that I'm doing. I'm using AI as a companion to help me learn about image optimization. Like that was the biggest part of my stream a couple streams ago. I had no clue about bandwidth from the client to the backend, on Convex, from Convex to Google and back, and then back to Vercel. And so that was a whole conversation. And there's like optimizations for Next.js. There's a lot of details that need to happen. And, I take a serious look and I try to keep digging further in. So if you're all about that vibe, definitely, obviously do this thing that everything that YouTube loves. But like subscribe and actually come hang out. And my goal is to transform my life. And I hope you're also doing it as well. So just hang out, code with us. The community is pretty chill. And if you're like even more interested in checking out the Discord, I have a link in the actual, if you go to this live stream chat, in the live chat, you'll see it there. I may even have it linked in the description, but definitely come join in and hang out there because that's a really cool spot where you get to meet other builders as well. It's a private Discord and I want to keep it that way. So that way the quality stays really high. I noticed that with free Discords, every free Discord that I've been in kind of doesn't get maintained very well. And if people actually pay, there's more intent for people to kind of participate and do things. Also, if you're not satisfied, I just give you your money back. So just reach out to me and happy to give you a refund. It's pretty straightforward. I just want people who are really serious to kind of hang out with us. So that's the vibe that we're currently on. I want to kind of end it at that because I do have to get packing and get going for my trip. I appreciate you coming to hang out with me to check out this first look. I will have timestamps at the end of this live stream so you can kind of go back if you're watching now to kind of see how we got started a little bit and maybe check out some things because we're able to kind of check this thing out as far as like, the research tasks that we're able to do. It's the integration with ChatGPT and how smooth it is. All the different stuff that you normally would expect from something like this. How does that look like? I like the ability that you're kind of in the browser. You can go to ask ChatGPT anytime, but also like if you hit this little thing on the left-hand side, you have access to everything else. So if I wanted to continue like a Codex task, like if I'm already coding with something in Codex or asking questions to clarify like image optimization stuff, I can pop back into Codex and, go back in here and then continue my plan. So this was the WebP master plan thing here. And this is the one that I did last time where literally I had 4 agents in the cloud, version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, do this really big implementation of my plan. And this spec was like extremely large and there's a lot of files that were touched and we're able to review it and kind of get going. And what's nice about like with Cursor and ChatGPT's like Codex plugin is I could just hit version 1 and it loads it right in locally from the cloud, right? So all of this stuff was processed in the cloud and was able to be applied, or I can even apply this to a branch as well. So like, this is within ChatGPT Atlas, by the way. By going up to the top left, I'm like sliding right in. I didn't have to like, go into a whole nother like tab or anything. Just it slid right in from my previous thing. So I was literally right here. And then I ended up, over here, like super quick, That's super convenient. So I'm excited about this new world. Also like the fact that we're unlocking this new paradigm of operating with our memories. So I'm anxious to try to build some type of workflow that I no longer have to use notes, that I no longer have to like punch in to have screenshots everywhere. I kind of want to have this central repository. And I think ChatGPT Atlas looks promising for me. And I'll be taking a look at that and you'll see me kind of do that in these live streams. So ladies and gentlemen, take it easy and be safe out there. Peace out, y'all.